how do I deal with the basic human needs where that tells me if I achieve X amount of money, I can buy a fancy car, a nice apartment, and deep down I now know that that is not going to make me feel awesome. How do you deal with that?
Well, what motivates you? How do you motivate yourself?
Right.
Those are standard societal motivators.
I believe that I think we're complex beings. I think part of us needs that drive towards something. What has changed in me is that I know inside me that it doesn't really matter. What changes is that it is the process of attaining it that is the journey of fun. So it's not the end goal. So in school, we start a semester, we end a semester, and we have exams, we get graded, right? So it's like from A to B, right? So constantly through our education, we're trained to think from A to B. So we'll start a semester, all you have to do is get through the semester, and then you are done, right? And then you start another one, but then you have a break. So again, a lot of social programming has trained us to think that we need goals, and when we attain them, we will be happy. But the thing is, when we do, there's just another goal. So I believe that we do need things to work towards. I went through a phase where I didn't, where I kind of just let everything kind of be, and I still do. On a Sunday, I just let everything be, and I sit in mind, oh, if I do not achieve this, I am a failure, and I will die, right? So now I know that, okay, if I don't get it, that's fine. But the journey of pursuing it is the reason for doing it, because who you become in the process. So I do believe we still need things to move towards. But yes, it is a bit of a mindfuck that it isn't. It's not going to give us what we think, because it's just going to be a little bleep, and then we want a new thing. So have I had any more panic attacks? And what do I do with work now? Like, so if I'm in flow, so Confucius said, if you do what you love, you'll never work another day. Do you still have to do some work? Well, the Pope still has to wipe his bum, right? So it's still something that we need to do. We still have to do the dishes. We still have to do certain things. And again, like, flow isn't something we can have 100% of the time. I think it's more like a 1% of the time, or maybe 5. Have I had more panic attacks? No, I haven't. Not to that extent. But I do sometimes get, a little bit. But it's kind of after it happened. It kind of it became less and less and less, because I changed my habits. Okay, so I slept more, I didn't work 16 hours, I wasn't always in fight flight. I just had to change how I operated. But it wasn't a switch. I've never been in hospital, but I have gotten to places where, now it's like, now I just need to calm down. So what I would do before was, instead of pushing through it, I now will say, I just need to rest. So again, it's like a calibration. I've learned from the challenge, and now I just do things differently. What is it that brings us out of flow when we are in flow? I'm not an expert at this. This is something that I feel it's something that when we try to intellectualize it, when we try to create a given process, when we try to say, like, if you look at kids, I think kids are in flow a lot more than us. They're just like, do you want to come play this game? And they're like, yeah, let's play this game. Oh, what are you today? I'm a knight. What are you? Oh, I'm a princess. And then they play that game. And it's not structured in a way. It's just something that they do. However, you might ask yourself, what would the consequence be if everybody just, lived free and just, gave up social boundaries and political and, went to their boss and said, you know what, you're an asshole. I'm not sure that it would be interesting to see what would happen if everybody sort of just let go and just did. I guess we're crossing over into anarchy now and other things. But what brings us out of flow, I think, is when we start living from, instead of living now in the moment when we're doing it, into like, oh, what is the consequence, or I should have done this. So it's when our mind starts going backwards and forwards, rewinding and stuff, that we get out of it. And that's why I think it's only like a momentary thing, where you just have to like surf that wave when it comes, and then you got to sort of pedal out, and you got to wait for the next wave to come, and then you surf that. And you don't always hit every wave, and some waves are more awesome than others, but it isn't really for us to control either, which makes it all very desirable, right? Because when we are in flow, it's amazing. But people that have it more, I think they're more intuitive. I think they listen more to their heart. I think they don't live as much in their lizard brain. They're not so much in fight and flight. So if there's a costume party and they want to wear something ridiculous, they'll wear it on the tube. They'll run around in it without thinking about, oh, what will these people think, or what will they think? And so I think the people that live more in flow, they just don't really care too much about their surroundings at that level where they live in fight or flight. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it.